I'm Klaas Fleischmann and I welcome you to New Business Models Tutorial 1.1 Part 2, the Lean Canvas. The Lean Canvas was developed by Ash Maurya specifically for startup companies. The Lean Canvas is targeted at investors. Startup companies can use the Lean Canvas to pitch their ideas in front of investors. Therefore, a couple of building blocks are different to the business model canvas. The Lean Canvas is also part of the Lean Startup method introduced by Eric Ries. The Lean Startup method is an iterative startup process going from building, measuring and learning in order to find growth and scale for startup companies. Experiments and pivoting will lead to more successful growth scenarios. So the Lean Canvas is a version of the business model canvas, and it's specifically meant to address problem-solution fit, because for startup companies an even tighter problem-solution fit is recommendable to get adoption by users and to find growth and scalability for the future. Therefore, as I said before, 4 building blocks are different compared to the business model canvas. Let's see which of the 4 building blocks are different. First of all, we can see that the key partnership building block has been replaced by the problem building block. Secondly, the key activities building block has been replaced by a so-called solution building block. Therefore, the problem solution fit has special emphasis in the Lean Canvas, as mentioned before. Furthermore, you can see that the customer relationship building block has been replaced by the unfair advantage building block. Finally, you can see that the key resources building block has been replaced by key metrics building block. I furthermore want to stress that in the problem building block, you have to address existing alternatives. In the customer segments building block, you need to specifically write up information on early adopters. In the unique value proposition building block, you need to address the high-level concept. As you can see, the Lean Canvas has a logical order, starting from customer segments, via problem to unique proposition, and ending at key metrics. The problem solutions fit or behavior fit will help you to filter out the noise and identify the most urgent and frequently problems that your users will face. Ask yourself the question, is it a problem really worth solving? On the solution part, ask yourself the question, is the solution useful? Is it understandable and accessible for your users? And also ask yourself the question, are there any alternative solutions? For example, with the corona crisis, certain countries recommend facial masks. But in other countries, scarves or other clothing can also be used as a way to cover your face and could be an alternative solutions. And startups that want to invest in a facial mask wouldn't be that successful. Now, what is the unfair advantage building block? First of all, please note that an unfair advantage is not the same as a competitive advantage. A competitive advantage is a set of conditions and attributes that allows a business to offer its consumers greater value than its competitors. An unfair advantage, on the other hand, is somewhat similar to a medieval castle surrounded by a moat of water. The moat protects the castle from intruders. In the same way, investors will look at the startup company and have the question, how can the startup protect its business from competitors for a certain period of time? Think about concrete things as patents when it comes to technology, or contracts in terms of B2B partnerships that are necessary to build up the business, or community. Because it will take time to build up community, competitors will not have the time to do it at the same speed as you did. Also note that an unfair advantage is not the same as a unique value proposition, as the unique value proposition is addressed or meant for your users or customers. Finally, the key metric building block. Remember, startups need to keep closely track of the way they are doing. So they need numbers to measure their success. Key metrics are the numbers that tell them exactly how well the business is doing. Please note, do not confuse key metrics or critical or key performance indicators with so-called vanity metrics. Vanity metrics are those numbers that maybe showcase that the business is pretty large, like the numbers of users on the website, but doesn't give any smart information on how well the business basically is doing. In this case, rather than to look at the total number of users on the website, you might want to look at the average revenue per user on the website, which would be a much more of a key metric in this respect. As mentioned before, the customer segment building block on the Lean Canvas specifically addresses the early adopters. As you can see on the slide, from a product solution fit, early adopters are the category of customers that a startup really needs, whereas the early majority is a category of customers that maybe already full-grown companies can address. If your early adopter category is, for example, startup founders, then those startup founders will have the problem you're addressing. They know they have it, and they will also actively seek the solution. For example, they will sign up for newsletters. Therefore, the early adopter category is a very, very important category for startup companies. The high-level concept is a short narrative, easy to communicate, which joins the aesthetic and the commercial potential, according to Wyatt. Remember that you have to pitch the Lean Canvas towards investors. Those investors will probably have never heard about your solution or your concept. Therefore, it's handy to use a concept that is already familiar to your investors and to compare it to that particular concept. So it's a unique idea whose originality could be conveyed briefly. Examples are Uber, like cabs but cheaper, faster and safer. Or exploding kittens, like Uno, except they are goats, magical enchiladas and kittens that can kill you. Or Jobber, like Tinder for jobs. PlayStation Now is Netflix of video games. As I said in regards to the business model canvas of Osterwalder, also the Lean Canvas has the same kind of takeouts. There's no right model. It's a design process. It's based on assumptions. A Lean Canvas is often a living framework that is reviewed and adapted every year based on strategy changes with customers, employees, and the market. A Lean Canvas can help get off the right start and make sure that early product and marketing decisions are tied back to the strategy. In case you have more questions, please do not hesitate to ask them in your online sessions later this week. By now, you should know the definition of Lean Canvas, the 4 new building blocks of the Lean Canvas, definitions and problems, solutions, problem-solution fit, unique value proposition, unfair advantage, and high-level concept. So far, the introduction to new business models part 2. In the next tutorials, I will focus on all the building blocks individually, how to apply them to selected case studies, and to show the value capture potential. So thank you for your attention, good luck in business model design, and see you soon. Thank you.